And close it. More. Pause. How can I help you, Jason?
Oh, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
What can I help you with this morning?
Uh, have some, I have a few questions
Okay.
for worksheet, or sorry, homework 2.1.
2.1. Okay. What's going
Yeah,
on with that? Let me pull up the homework from my downloads here. Um, Downloads. Come on, I know you're there. I just had you this morning. There it is. Alrighty, so let me share the screen here
okay.
and see what we have here. So we can both be looking at it.
Yes, thank you.
Of course, no problem. What can I help you with?
Okay, so I think the ones that I have trouble with is, is it okay if if I have 4 questions?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, actually 5. It's, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and
Oh,
12.
okay. So you're having trouble with the frequency distributions, huh?
Yeah.
Constructing the frequency distributions. Okay. So part of this is knowing what kind of frequency distribution you're constructing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So because there's different instructions for each of these. I don't know if you realized that, but there are. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so did you read the slides at some point when you were doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what kind of distribution is number 7?
Okay, 50 people were asked to identify their favorite sport. The responses were F, football, professional football, C, college football, B, baseball, football, and A, auto racing.
Mhm.
Construct a categorical frequency distribution for the data.
Okay. So this is a categorical frequency distribution. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's probably not going to give you that particular clue on the test, but you'll know from the type of data that you're given what kind of distribution you should use. So if you go now, I'm going to try and do something. I can't quite, no, I have to bring it up first. I was going to try and switch the windows and I can do that, but I don't have the PowerPoint. I have it loaded. I just don't have it open. So let me open up the PowerPoints for this meeting and I'll see if I can show you this. Because this will help you, but if you didn't realize that you were looking at separate instructions, that's gonna cause you some problem with this. And
Hmm.
I can't guarantee that that's what happened, but sometimes that's what happens. So in this case, let me bring up the slides. These are the slides for 2.1, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And after the definitions of the things that are going on here, after that, we talk. So here's your procedure for a categorical frequency distribution. It starts here. Categorical distribution can be used for data that can be placed in specific categories, nominal or ordinal data. So your distribution is going to look like it has these 3 columns: the class, the frequency, and then the percentage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have a class for each of those sports that are listed. Okay. The frequency is how many times each sport is listed. And then the percentage is going to be the calculation that you do. The class frequency divided by total. So if we go down here, this is similar. This is different data, but this is similar. So here, you have freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. There are 4 classes, 1 for each of the groups. And then you're going to count the frequency of each one. So here, she set up the classes, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And then she's going to count how many freshmen, how many sophomores, how many juniors, how many seniors there are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was your question in trying to do a distribution like this? Let me go back to the homework question. Now that you've seen that, let me come back to this. What was your major issue in here?
Hmm. Trying to tell how many are there?
Okay, so you mean you weren't sure how to count it? Is that what you mean?
Or how to do it, because it was kind of confusing.
Okay, so as we saw from the example, we know we're doing F is professional football, C is college football, B is baseball, and A is auto racing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So professional, college, baseball, auto. Okay, so if I do this, if I say, I'm going to start my distribution here, right? And I'm going to say, here's my data. And I'm going to, the distribution is the table itself. Okay. So you're going to do the table here, and it's going to have 3 columns in it, just like the other one did. And
Okay.
so what are we going to put in the first column? What is going to be our head for the first column?
Uh, F, professional football.
We're going to have, right, we're going to have F down here. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to call this column the class.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're going to call this column the frequency.
Oh, class frequency. And I think the next one would be the percentage.
Right. We call that the relative. Yeah, we can call it the relative frequency or the percent. So let's go back and I'll show you. This is coming straight from here. Class frequency percent, right?
Okay.
That's this is part of the work. So you need to use, she may have these heads for you when you take the quiz or the exam. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. So this is part of, these labels are part of it. Okay. So let's go back to our whiteboard here and let's finish this up. So we have class frequency and percent. Now let's fill in the rest of our heads. Let's fill in the rest of our rows. So we have football, we have college football, right? What else do we have?
Hold on, let me get the paper. College football, baseball,
With a B, and what else?
and A for auto racing.
Okay. So that's not too hard, right? Now, the hard part of this, it's not really hard, but the little bit of time consuming part of this is going to be counting your frequency when you do it. That's the only tricky. I'm going to make some lines here. And so what we want to do to find the frequency is we have to go into the homework assignment and we have to count how many are in each one, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a new share here. I'm going to share the homework again. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to count all the F's, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and annotate on the screen. Let me, where is it? Draw. That works for me. Okay, let's draw here. So I'm going to count my F's. So 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I count 19. Okay. So there are 19 of those. Okay. So
Okay.
now, so there are 19. So I'm going to go back now and put that in here. So this is going to be whiteboard. So I'm going to say, okay, this is 19 goes in here. Okay. Now you can count the frequencies of the rest of them if you want, or you can get the percentage. We're given that there's 50 pieces of data. They told us that. So if I want to get the percentage, how am I going to get the percentage of my total?
Gotta count them.
Well, that's this column. So in this column, this is how many there are. So this is where I count. How do I get the percentage in the next column?
You percentage.
Look at your slides. What does the slide say? What does the slide say to do?
Divide.
Divide. So you're going to take the what we call the class frequency, and you're going to divide it by the total number of data there are. There are 50 pieces of data. Okay. So in our case, we're going to do this. We're going to say this. We're going to go 19. Let me see here. 19 divided by 50. And we're going to multiply that answer by 100 to get our percentage. Okay. So you're going to multiply this by 100. Go ahead and do that for me and tell me what you get. Okay.
38.
That's right. This is 38%. And sometimes we make this one decimal. Okay. 38%. Very good. So you're going to continue that for the other three columns. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're going to count how many C's there are in our data. So let's go back to our homework here.
I counted 14.
You counted it already? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do that. So that is going to be 14 here. So did you want to finish doing the counts and then go back and do all the percentages? We can do that if you want. Or do you want to do the percentage right now?
I could do the percentages right now.
You want to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do it and tell me what you get for this one. Equal to.
First, for college football, I got 28.
Okay, good job. That's 28%. All right, let's go on to baseball. How many baseball players do we have?
10.
Okay, 10. Now let's do our calculation here. So this is 10 out of 50, right? We
Times
multiply this by 100. What do we get here?
20.
20, okay. And then the last category, how many do we have?
7.
Okay, there are 7. Let's do a little check here. Remember, they should add up to 50, right? Because there are 50 players. So add these numbers up for me. 19, 14, 10, and 7, and tell me if you should get 50. If we don't, we
I
have
did.
something wrong. You did?
Yep.
Okay. So this is 50 here. That's always a good little check to do. So I'm going to put that down here. 50 here. So now go ahead and compute this percentage. Tell me what you get for the last one.
So 7 divided by 50 times 100 equals 14.
Uh-huh. Very good. Times 100. And what should happen, it doesn't always, sometimes you don't get quite as nice a distribution as this, but your percentages should add up to, oops, I forgot my percent sign. Your percentages should add up to 100 or very close to 100. Sometimes they'll vary a little bit, but they should add up to 100 because you're taking in all of the data points when you do that. And this is called a categorical frequency distribution. We use it for numerical data. Okay. All right. So that's that one. Any questions about that?
I'm trying to figure it out now.
Okay. I'll
So
leave it
that's
up.
it?
For this problem, yes.
Okay,
You
I
have
got
to
it.
do. When it says create a district, now I think there's a question as far as after you create the distribution. I think the homework asks another question about the distribution itself. So let's look. Which class has the most data values?
Which class has the most data values? That'll be professional football.
Professional football. And which class has the fewest?
Auto racing.
Auto. So you to come back and just answer, because you need to answer those questions to be complete. So we finished the frequency distribution. The frequency distribution is done, but to answer the questions, you would say professional football has the least number of data values. And I'm sorry, has the greatest, right? Because it has the most, has the
Yes.
greatest, there it is, number of data values. And auto racing has the least. That's it. That's the end of that question. So that's how you figure it out. This is and I'm going to write it in the corner here. This is a categorical frequency distribution. Because what you do with the distribution depends on what kind of data and what kind of distribution you have. All right, so that's it for that one. Let's look
Okay.
at the next one, which is
Number 8.
a number 8, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it says a survey was taken of 50 individuals. They were asked how many days per week they ate at a fast food restaurant. Construct a frequency distribution using 8 classes. Okay, they give you, here she gives you a little hint. So she tells you you're using 8 classes, okay? And we're using 0 through 7. So in this case, we can see that this is what we call an ungrouped distribution. So this is an ungrouped frequency distribution. Now, how do I know this? Well, if I look at the data, right, I can see that the lowest value I have is 0 right here. Okay. And the highest value I have is 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to use 8 classes, then each of those classes is one number, one element, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this is for number 8 is an ungrouped distribution. So here I'm going to switch to our slides and we're going to look for the instructions for an ungrouped frequency distribution. And that's actually on the next page, slide number 10, starts on slide number 10, okay? Can be used when our range is small, which our range is only 7. This is similar to what we did before, but we're going to sort the data, find the range of the data, and then we're going to make a table of the data, okay? This
Okay.
one, instead of having a percentage, we're going to have cumulative frequency at the end of it. So
Okay.
that's a little different. All right. So let me show you how this starts. Let me go to the whiteboard again. Get us a new whiteboard here. And this one, this is gonna be an ungrouped distribution. So this is gonna be for an ungrouped frequency distribution, okay? So
Okay.
we're going to have our data and I'm going to use this. So we're going to have our line across here. We're going to have our columns going down like before. And I'm going to have a frequency and a cumulative frequency, okay? All right, so now this is going to be, once again, this is going to be our class. This is going to be our frequency here. And this is going to be our cumulative frequency, which is new. So let's take a look. All right, we know what to do with the classes because she told you. Let's go back and look. So if we go back and look at the homework for this question, what are our classes going to be? What do the instructions tell us?
Construct a frequency distribution using 8 classes, 0 to 7.
0
Based
to
on the
7.
distribution, how much people eat at the fast food restaurant.
How often? How often did most of them eat? So our classes are what?
0 to 7.
0 to 7, right? So let's use that information and let's go back and do that. So now we're going to say, this is going to look like this. So we're going to have a class with 0 in here. And then we're going to have a class with 1 in here. And we're going to have a class with 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 0 to 7 is our classes. And I need to make this longer. No worries, we can fix that. So now I'm gonna do that like that. All right. All right, so now you can put this data in your calculator or you can count by hand. This one, because it's numeric, you can put it in your calculator and sort the data if you want. And that will be the faster way to do it. That's why she said sort the data on the slide. But for those of you who may not have your calculator just yet, you can do this by hand if you choose. But it just involves counting how many zeros, how many ones, all of that there are.
Okay. I counted 2 zeros.
2. Okay. So let's put 2 in here. How about the ones?
Ones would be 3, 4, 5.
5 number ones. How about the twos?
2s. Oh, that's a lot of 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
24 twos. Wow. Okay. How about the threes?
3s would be 8.
Okay. And the fours?
4s would be 6.
Okay. And the 5?
5s would be 4.
Okay. 4 5s. And let me just finish making the rows here so that we can do what we have to do next. You said 4 of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about the sixes?
0.
Okay. And the sevens?
1.
We know there was at least one of those. Okay, now the fun part. Let's add this up, make sure it comes out to 50 to make sure we got all the data, right? 2 plus 5 is 7. 7
Got it.
plus, got it? It worked?
Yeah, I have
All
a
right.
calculator with me.
Good job. All right. So now that's always a good thing to check because sometimes you miss a piece of data and then you go to the end and you're like, what did I do? All right, so now the way the cumulative frequency works is a little bit different, okay? You always get the first cumulative frequency, and I should finish that label. The cumulative frequency, the first one you always get from whatever the frequency of the first class is. So this piece of data, this 2, comes over as 2, okay? Now the way you continue is you come from this number here and you add the frequency of the class below it. So it's
So
this
2 plus
okay,
1?
plus 5, because there's 5, right? Aren't there?
Yes.
Not okay. When I said the frequency of the class, it's not the class name. It's that's a good, and because these labels are numeric, it's easy to get confused. What I'm doing is I'm taking this number and I'm adding this to it to get that.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 plus, not 1, but 2 plus 5
Equals 7.
equals 7, right? And you continue that pattern. So you're going to take this answer,
7
7,
plus 24?
right, and keep going. 7 plus 24 is going to give you 31, right? Then you're going to do what?
31 plus 8?
Right, 31 plus 8, and that gives you what?
39.
Good. Keep going.
Okay. 39 plus 6?
Very good. 39 plus 6, how much is that?
45.
Good. Continue.
45 plus 4
Right. Is
equals 49.
good. 49 plus 0
Is obviously 49.
is, yeah, that's the easiest math you're going to do all morning, probably. And 49 plus 1 is
50.
50. And so one of the ways to check this, and also what we're going to do next, which is the cumulative frequency distribution, is your last cumulative frequency right here, this
Mm-hmm.
50, should match the total of your frequencies.
Okay.
They should match each other. Okay. If they match each other, that's a good sign. You want that to happen. If you ever do a problem and they don't match, you've made an error somewhere. Either you've forgotten to count a piece of data, or you've got a frequency wrong, or you may have just added wrong, but they should match. So the total of your frequencies should match your cumulative frequency. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how an ungrouped frequency distribution works. Questions?
So that's it?
That's it for the distribution. Now we have a question to answer on the homework.
Oh.
The homework asks us a question
Mm-hmm.
about the distribution itself, right? So construct a frequency distribution using 8 classes. We did that. That was what we just did. Based on the distribution, how often did most people eat? How often, how many days a week did most people eat?
2?
2 days, right. So you would answer and say that you can say up here, let me go up here and say most people ate at a fast food restaurant 2 days per week. Based on this group of people anyway, right? And you get that from the frequency. You look at the frequency, you look at the most frequent, and you have 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Not so hard, right?
No, that
A
was
little
actually
time,
easy.
a little time consuming, maybe, but not hard necessarily, right?
Mm, At
It's
least
just
I'm getting.
it's just a lot of information.
At least
Okay.
I'm starting to understand it to get ready for the quiz tomorrow.
That's good. And remember, you can use your notes on the quiz. You can use your slides on the quiz. You can use any of the materials that I posted. You can even come and see me and I can let you know if you're on the right track. I can't work out the problem for you, but I can refer you to the right place or let you know if you're on the right track or not.
So kind of like a cheap cheat or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you're allowed to use all of that, but anything that you write on the quiz has to be yours, and you have to be
Mm-hmm.
able to understand it and defend it. Okay, so you shouldn't write anything you don't understand how to do. Okay,
Okay. All right.
so it's not about, she's not interested in having you just memorize a bunch of stuff for the sake of memorizing it. She wants you to actually learn the material. Okay, so
Okay.
maybe that makes you feel better. I hope so. Now number 9, I'd be happy to go over it. Number 9, I actually did a video on. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Probably not, because I don't think she's posted it, and I just posted it this morning. But there is a video on it. This is very similar to what we do with number 8, except that it is grouped. So there's a little bit. So 9 and 10 are grouped distributions. Okay. So 9 and 10 are going to follow the same kind of idea. All right. So I'm going to do something here. Give me a second. I'm going to go through some of this. Let me stop sharing for a second. Let me pull up, I think I have the video link open so I can save us some time, because I'm gonna voice over my own video. That should be interesting. We'll see how that goes. But I did, and when we'll do the first part of number 10, and I can give you the distribution for 10, but let me pull up number 9 first. Here is the distribution. Let me set that there, and let me make sure that's ready to go. It is. All right, so pull up Zoom here. And while I'm at it, Jason, so I can give you credit, can you pop your student number in a message, a private message to me in the chat down below, so I can give you credit for being here?
Okay.
Thank you. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna all right, let me pop that out so that I can give you credit. To this one is
Tricky.
a little bit more. It's not tricky. It's just a more calculations. That's all.
Oh.
It's just there's nothing that's really hard about this. It's just time consuming. But let me show you what this looks like. So let me pull this up and make sure that my audio is optimized, and share the screen, because that would be good. And let me go ahead and I'm going to turn the audio off because I'm going to voice over this thing. So what I did, this is the actual, I started by reminding you what the procedures are for this type of distribution. So this will apply for 9 and 10 because they're grouped, both of them are, okay? So you're going to put the data in your calculator, okay? You're going to sort the data and that will get you the highest and the lowest values of the data, okay? Then you're going to find the range, which is the high number minus the low number. And we know how many classes we want. The homework problem tells you that there are 6 classes that they want. And then the first little thing to be aware of is the class width. So we'll go over that in a minute here. So if you look at the data that's in the homework, you'll see, and I think I should, let me stop sharing this for a second and share the homework page with you. If you look at the homework here for number 9, the minimum value in here is 465, you should see. 465 is the smallest, and 514 is the largest. Okay. So we need those 2 pieces of data as we continue this, okay? So we know that the minimum is 465, the maximum is 514. Now, what I'm gonna do is the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna enlarge this so you can see it. We're going to calculate the class width. So we're going to take the range, which is 514. We're going to subtract 465 from it. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're going to divide that difference by 6. So go ahead and do that. And compare your answer to what you see on the screen up here.
So it's
Okay, that should be 8 and some change, some decimal, right? Now she suggests in the slides that you make your class width odd. So what we're going to do is we're going to round this up to an odd number. And that's pretty much just to make your midpoints even, which it's just a convenience factor, okay? But this will become clearer to you in the upcoming sections why this is a convenient sort of convention. So we're going to make our width 9 units, okay? Any questions about this part?
where did the 6 come from?
The 6, oh, because we had, let me show you that. Because if you look at the homework here, it says 40 plasma TVs were tested and the number of watts per day they were used while running 4 hours a day was recorded. Construct a frequency distribution, use 6 classes.
Oh.
This number of classes will always be given to you. So we're taking the range and we're dividing by 6. All right. Okay. Anything else about that?
That's it.
Okay. So now let's continue with this. So now we have 6 classes And we know they're 9 units wide. Now, let's continue here.
Wait.
Here I show you the data, which we knew that. Now, what happens with this is you start from the minimum, which is 465. And to get your, these are called the class limits. To get your next lower limits, you're going to add 9 to the minimum. So I think I show you that a little further on. Let me see. Here it is. Let me run the video for you now. Class limits. Okay. So you have 465,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to add 9 to that. We're going to add the width to that. So this becomes 465 plus 9, which is
474.
474, right? So now I went through some of that. I actually made a mistake when I started typing this later. So let me see if I can scroll past it. You'll see it, but then I go back and correct it after this. But if you do see it, it is there. Because what happens is, now when you do the upper limit, this is 465 plus 9, 474. I keep adding 9 until I get 6 rows. Okay. So 474 plus 9, 483, 483 plus 9, 492, 492 plus 9, 501, and so forth. Okay. Now, to get the upper limits, there's a couple things you can do. What I normally do is I look at the lower limit of the class below me and I take 1 off. So this went from 465 to 474. So I know that the upper limit ends the unit before that, 473. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either add 9 all the way down, or you can use this idea of subtracting 1 off. This is 482, this is 492, and so forth. So your class limits look like this for this problem.
Okay. So I start with 465 and
465 to 473,
okay.
and then 474 to 482. And then 483 to 491. And then 492 to 500. 501 to 509. And 510 to 518.
Okay.
Okay. Now, people had several questions about this. This is why I made this video. So you're like the third person to ask me a question about this problem. So when you do the boundaries are the ones that don't have gaps. So the boundaries are the ones that don't have gaps. So this is a whole unit here. You're going to take off half a unit from the lower limit and add a half a unit to the upper limit. This is using the boundaries that we did. I think you did this in earlier in the section. So now you take 465 minus 0.5, you get 464 and a half. And I think I'm explaining that. Yeah, here I
Okay.
am.
I have a
Um,
question. How did we get the 9 again?
oh, the 9 was the class width. So remember from here, let me go to, where is it? Oh, I don't have, hang on. Let me stop sharing this and share. Let me grab the picture that I have up here. I can use the whiteboard. So let me pull up that and use that. This is what your distribution, we'll talk about this in a minute, but let me share the screen first. So the 9 came because we did, let me annotate on the screen here. So the first step was to rank the data, right? And so we had our maximum, which is listed. Our maximum was 514. So our maximum was 514 in our data.
Mm-hmm.
And our minimum was 465. So then I said, okay, remember we had 6 classes, right? The problem gave us 6 classes. So
Mm-hmm.
the width, the class width came from this.
So
Class width is equal to the maximum minus the minimum divided by the number of classes there are. Let me move this over, make it wider. Give me a second here. This is number of class. Okay, that's how we got 9. So now this was this calculation. Class width was equal to the maximum, which is 514
mm-hmm.
minus 465
Divided by
divided by
6.
6. And that came out to be, when we first did this, this came out to be 8 and some change, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
like 8.17 if you round it. But we want an odd width. We want an odd number. So we're going to round this number. We're going to use the nearest odd integer. And the nearest odd integer to 8.17 is 9 units. So
Mm.
that's where that came from. Okay.
Okay.
And so then we start from the minimum, 465, and we add the width, which is 9 units.
Hmm?
So 465, 474. And so you get, after you construct the first 2 columns, you get what's on the screen. Any questions about the class limits or the class boundary here?
Nope.
You okay now?
Okay, I get it
All right.
now.
So now how do we get the frequency again?
By dividing?
No, not the
By
frequency.
subtracting.
The frequency the frequency is how many there are. So this is where you use your calculator to count how many values. So what I have to do is I have to go back to my data or back to my calculator, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm looking at this first class, 465 to 473, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna look at my data. Let me grab the homework here. Here it is. Is this it? No. Where's the homework? There it is. No, it's not. Let me grab it again because I think it opened in a different window. Okay, so here's the homework, right? So we're looking at our homework sheet, and we're gonna take, here's our data, right? So we're gonna look at our list. Now, ideally, this would be sorted. This one isn't. So if you're doing it by hand, it's not gonna be sorted, but hopefully you're doing it with the sorted list from the calculator. But you're going to count on this list how many data there are between 465 and 473. Okay? So you're gonna count those just like we counted the football players, just like we counted the number of days in the restaurant. Okay, it's just that you're going to count all of the data that fall between those two values.
Okay.
When you count the first class, what you should find is somewhere here. I have the whiteboard. Yes. This is not the correct whiteboard though, is it? This is not the whiteboard that I was looking at before. Let me share the whiteboard from the video, the other whiteboard here. This whiteboard. Okay. So now, here's my whiteboard that I wanted. So if you count those up, you'll see that there are 9 values between 465 and 473, including 473. There should be 9 values. Okay. So why don't you count that now if you don't have it? Look at the chart and count all of the data that are between 465 and 473, including those two.
For the frequency?
Right. Count how many values in the data list are between 465 and 473.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I kind of got confused on the class boundaries part, like the 6.4.5.
Oh, you want to go back? Okay. All right. The way we get class boundaries before we get to the frequency, the way you get class boundaries is you look at the limits. Okay. This, let me use the spotlight. This lower limit here, 465, right, is a whole number. Okay. So we're
Okay.
going to use a boundary. When we're making boundaries, and if you go back and look at, I think it's section 1.2 that goes over this. If you have a whole number and you want to make a boundary, you add and subtract half a unit. Okay. So 465. So we're doing, so to get our lower limit, we're doing this. We're saying 465 minus 0.5. Okay. And if you do that on your calculator, you're going to get 464 and a half units. Okay. That's our lower class boundary for this.
Okay.
Now our upper class boundary, we look at this 473 and we add. So to get the upper limit, we're going to say 473, and we're going to add half a unit. Add half a unit to it. This is 473.5. Okay. That's
Okay.
where that came from. All right. Now to go to the next class, which is 474 to 482, we're going to say 474, and we're going to subtract half a unit. If you subtract half a unit, you'll get 473 and a half, which notice matches the upper limit here. These boundaries should repeat themselves, and they do. You see that?
Yes.
They should repeat. Okay. 482, we're going to add half a unit. So this is 482, 482 plus half a unit. So this is plus 0.5. And that's 482.5. And so forth. Does that make sense now?
Yep.
Okay. You just continue that all the way down.
Okay.
All right. All right. Now, do you understand how to get the frequency? Now,
By counting them all?
you count. You count the values in the list that fall within each of the limits that you created. Okay. So you count it. These are the counts. This is the counts from the problem that you're trying to do. So these are the counts that you should get when you finish.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last column for this type of distribution is the cumulative frequency, which I think we know how to do. Remember, the first cumulative frequency matches the first frequency you have.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. It's all
Okay.
together.
Okay. So no questions about this?
Just the class boundaries part, just in case that might have to be on the quiz.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, so let me do something here before we, number 10 is going to be similar to number 9, okay? So I'll get you started on 10, but I'm going to let you work on 10. You can work on it here if you want, but I want to come back because I want to answer something else for you. So let me pull up, actually, let me see if I have it. I think I do. Let me see here. 1.2. Because I believe it was in 1.2 that we did the Downloads for. Let me check the downloads folder and check on that. Here it is. No, that's not it. I think it's over here. Let me roll over here. 1.1. 2.1. Syllabus and procedures quiz. Did I do some more? I think I did. 1.1. 1.2. I thought I did that. Maybe it was,
Okay, for number 10, I think
uh-huh.
I found the minimum and maximum.
Okay, let's take a look. So let me check another source so I can tell you if you're right or not.
Okay.
Downloads today and desktop. This is called what happens when you have too many files open. All right, let me see here. This, come on. Okay. I want to go home. All right, let me pull up the book really quick so I can take a look at it. This is 2.1. And it's probably number. All right, so we're looking at, what is number 10 asking me?
The ages of signers of the Declaration of Independence are shown. Age is approximate since the only birth year appeared in the source, and
Okay,
one has been omitted.
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 Okay, so they omitted somebody. I wonder if that was by design or. All right, so let me look. That actually in the textbook, that's number 19. So let me look at our solution here. All right, so what we have is appendix E, and we're looking at number 19 for that. All right, what do you have? What do you have there?
For the minimum, I have 27.
Perfect, good. How about the max?
70.
Okay. All right, so if you do the math, how many classes are you supposed to have?
7.
Okay, so how are you going to find the class width?
Hmm. Um, Subtract them.
Okay, start by subtracting them. So how much is, let's take a look at that. What is 70 minus 27?
43.
Okay, and how many classes do we want?
7.
Okay, so let's divide 43 by 7. What does that give us?
6.1.
6
4.
and some change, right? But we want to
Mhm.
try to make the class width odd. So what are we going to make it?
7.
7. Very good. So now we're going to start to create some new class limits, right? So we're going
Okay.
to start. So you're doing good so far. So now let's go back here and let's see if we can start to put this together. All right. So we have, let me put this up here. All right. So we're going to start with our, this is going to look similar to what we did previously. It's just different numbers, right? So we're going to take our chart, make some columns in our chart. And we're going to start with, and as you said, let's show our work over here. So that when people watch this later, they'll know. So the minimum was
27.
27. The maximum was 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we want 7 classes, right?
Yep.
So now we want 7 classes. All right. So let's find our width. We did that already.
Mm-hmm.
You're ahead of me because you're quick like that. Excuse me for having that go up. I thought that was off. 7 classes. So now our width is going to be 70 minus 27 all over 7. And that came out to be 6.1. We were going to use, so we're going to use a width of 7. Use 7 as the width. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we start, these are going to be our class limit. So we have some class limits here. We have some class boundaries. I actually need another column than the one I have, but we'll do that in a minute.
Class limits, class boundaries, the frequency, and the cumulative frequency.
Very good. That's exactly right. That's good. So this is class boundary. This is going to be the frequency. That's going to be our sticky little number there probably, but we have the frequency here, and then we're going to have the cumulative frequency. So let me make another column here. This is going to be cumulative frequency on this side. So we're going to, all right. So now let's go back and let's start with our class limits. Can you do the class limits for me?
So start off with the minimum and add it by 7.
Add, right. This is just arithmetic.
27.
It's annoying, but it's just arithmetic. So this is,
So it's 27 through 34.
right. So remember that 27 is going to be your lower. The next lower one is going to be 34. Okay. And then you add 7, you get what? Are
Uh,
you,
34 plus 7.
right? Keep going. You're doing good.
41.
Right. Keep going.
Uh, oh, um, 48 plus 7. 55.
Right.
62.
Good.
69.
Right. 69. And we stop at 7 classes. So we've got 7 rows, right?
Yep.
Okay. So now how do we get the upper limits? 27 to what?
27 to 7. 27 plus 7.
Well,
Oh,
that's how we got 34, right? But how do we get How do
27
we get?
plus 6.
You could do that, or you could just take one off of the 34 down here. This is going to be 33, right?
Yep.
And so you can add 7 now to this if you want, or you can just look at one less than these left-hand numbers. Okay, so this is going to be 40 here,
Mm-hmm.
right? You see where this is coming from?
Yep.
Okay, good. And then this is going to be what? 47.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be what?
54.
Good. And then
61.
good.
68.
Yeah. 61, 68, and
69 plus 6.
which is,
75.
yeah, very good. Very good. That wasn't hard, right?
No, it wasn't.
Now that you understand how it works, it's understanding how it works that's a little bit tricky, right? But this is 75, right? Okay,
Yep.
now you know, I think you know what to do from here. The class boundaries might be a little tricky because you were a little shaky on that. So why don't you tell me what you think the class boundaries are for the first class here? What do you think they are?
27.5.
Be careful. On the lower one, we subtracted. So it should
Oh.
be a little bit smaller. So it's 27 minus 0.5. So this is 26 and a half. On the upper one, you add. So this is 33 and a half. Okay.
Oh.
The way you check it, if you make a mistake like that, is this number, this 26 and a half right here, this should round to 27.
Okay.
If you make a mistake, let me show you here. If you make a mistake and you write 27.5 instead, if I rounded that, where would it round to? Would it round to 27?
No, it won't.
No, it rounds to 28. So you need to make sure this rounds to whatever this first number is. So this is 26.5. So we have 26.5 to 33.5, right? So this
Yep.
is going to be, let me put it in here. This is going to be 26.5 to 33.5, right?
Yep.
And then you're going to have what? 33.5 to 40.5.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to come after that?
Wait, 40 minus 0.5?
Well, remember the top one goes up one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the lower limit should round to this class limit, which it does. The upper limit has to round to the next lower, remember? Because they have to overlap each other.
Oh. So 40.5.
And
47.5.
good, that's right. 47, right? Now what comes after that?
You see? 47.5
Two.
and 54.5.
There you go. Now you're getting
54.5.
right.
61.5.
Nice. 54 to 61. Very good.
61.5 to 68.5.
That's good. 61 to
And
68.
68.5 to 75.5.
Right. And then 6. Okay, so now comes our favorite part, the counting, right? 68.5 to 75.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So now we count. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. So let me stop sharing the screen for a minute and go back and check check my source so I can tell you what are you getting for the first
Frequency?
frequency. What did you get for that?
The first frequency, let me check. 27 to 33?
Yes. 27 to 33.
Hmm. 1.
No, there
No,
should
I'm
be.
counting. I'm counting.
Oh, sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5.
There should be 7 of those, the book claims. So let's take a look and make sure. Should be 7 of those. Let me go to here. All right, so 27 to 33.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look, because maybe there have been known to be mistakes, but as far as I know, this isn't one of them. Let me share the screen. All right, so we're going to this. All right, so 27 to 33. Let's annotate here. We have nothing here, nothing here, nothing there. Here's 1 here.
2. Oh, wait,
2
no.
here, right?
Yeah.
Then we have, no, this is why sometimes this is why you get a second opinion. Sometimes when
Oh, I
you,
was going vertical. I was going sideways, not vertical.
oh, either way, I'm gonna end up counting all the numbers. I just want to verify your work. That's all.
Okay.
Um, that's all I'm doing here. I'm trying to see if there's a mistake in the book or because it can't be 5 and 7. You know what I mean? So it has to
Oh,
be either one.
it is 7. I see it now.
There's our numbers. There they are. Okay. And there are 7 of those. Okay. Hmm. All right. So let's go ahead and count the next group for me.
Okay.
And let me know what the word is. Oops, wrong screen. Here, this one.
Got 12.
It says it's supposed to be 14, I think. I'll look right now, but I'm pretty sure it said 14 in there. I'll look at it. I just want to put up the numbers here. So that we can 3, 2, and 2. That's what let me make sure before I no, I don't want to do this right now. I want to go down here. So what it's showing me here is 7, 14, 15, 11, 3, 3, and 2. 7, 14, 15, 11, 3, 3, and 2 for a total of 55. Okay.
Okay.
So let's take a look. Between 34 and 40. Let's go back to our screen share here. And let me go to the book. Oh, it replaced it. I didn't want you to do that. All right, let me hold on. It replaced my screen share with something else. Let me see what I can do here. All right, first of all, hold on. Let me, there we go. All right. Homework. All right. Let's top down. Here it is. All righty. So let me share the screen. And we're doing 34 to 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me annotate here. So we're going to have 34 to 40. So we're going to have these two. And then we're going to have one, that one, that one, that one. No, not that. That one. This one. This one. This one. This one. Uh, this one. And then, okay. So that's how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there they are.
So it is 14.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now let's go ahead and keep counting our groups. This is the next group between 41 and 47, you should get 15.
Okay.
Okay.
And then 11,
I believe so. Let me check. Yes, 11 after that,
then
and
3.
then 3. And then 3, and then 2.
Okay.
Okay, are we good so far there?
Yep.
All right, good deal. All right, so now we have our frequency, right? And our last column is our cumulative frequency, which I'm going to try and do one thing here, and that is erase this so that it doesn't. I'm going to bring this down here. This is going to be cumulative frequency in this column. So you know how to get the cumulative frequency now. So why don't you try that and tell me what you get,
So 7.
right?
7 plus 14,
Which is
21.
very good.
21 plus 15,
Right. Keep going.
36.
Okay. This is
36 plus 11 equals 47.
yeah,
47
yeah.
plus 3 is 50.
Okay.
50 plus 2 is 52.
6, 47, 50.
And 52 plus 4 is, or no, 52 plus 2 is 54.
Yeah, I think one of these should be a 3. Hold on. Because there should be 55 of them. I think maybe I gave you some. Let me check it. Because I know there should be 55 of them. So let me fix that on here. So it's 7, 14, 15,
Mm-hmm.
11, 3, 3, and 2.
Oh,
So I think, let me fix this. Let me fix my arithmetic. 3, 3, and 2. So this one should be a 3. This is a 3.
okay.
That's a 3, not a 2. So
Yeah, I got
this,
55 at the end.
yeah, it should be 55. So that's a 3. So this is, but you're just make sure you adjust your, so 36 plus 11, 47, this is 50, 53, and 55. So this is 50,
Okay.
53, and then 55, right? And that 55 should match our total for
I
our
got it.
cumulative frequency, which it does. Okay.
Okay.
And I don't think there was another question for the homework on that one, right? It just said, let me go back and look.
It just says construct a frequency distribution for data using 9 classes.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Um,
Oh, eight, I mean, 7 classes. Sorry, I
7
was looking at the
classes.
next one.
No problem. So, what do we have for, let me see.
11.
Do we have number 11? Yeah, I need to pull up the homework. What does number 11 say?
A random sample of 30 companies in the United States shows the amount in millions of dollars to
Mhm.
each company donated to charity for a specific year. Construct a frequency distribution for the data using 9 classes.
And this one is the 9 classes. Okay. So, the only thing that's going to be different here probably is your boundaries and your counting. So um, let me help you with that. So again, we're going to start by doing what?
Finding the minimum and maximum numbers.
Right. That's the first thing you do. Yes, it is. So let me just stop sharing
11.
this for a second. Stop
Oh,
sharing.
I'm also doing this on a separate sheet of paper. Can I submit it as homework though?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I also printed out the homework sheet, but knowing that most of these questions are going to take a lot of room.
Yes. Just
Yeah.
make sure that when you, it doesn't matter how many pages it's on, just make sure that on the first page, you follow the instructions that she gives you for how to submit. There's submission instructions there.
Oh yeah. Also, is the header like the works cited part?
The header means, it'll be homework 1
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be 1.1 to 2.1, but the header for each of the homeworks is whatever it says in the actual, like 1.1 numbers 1 through whatever it says. That's the header. I think she gave you let me show you that, because I believe, let me see if I have it open. I believe she gave you um an instruction on that. Let me look for that while you're counting those, okay?
Equals.
We're gonna go to courses. We're gonna go to the show modules. I think it's under Daisy. I'm not sure if she put it under, we'll find out right now. Let me find out. Syllabus and procedure quiz. All right, let's see. Homework 1. Let me see if she put it under that. If she put those instructions under there.
Classes.
Single file. No. Is it in an announcement? It could be. Math club, calculator rental. Okay. Okay, I think it's this one. Yeah. Homework format. Let me share this with you, Jason.
Okay.
This is are you in the online version or the in-class version?
Online.
You're in the online version. You'll find this in an announcement. So if here's what it's under the homework format announcement. Let me share the screen so you can see it. This is so you put your last name, your first,
Mm-hmm.
your student number, math 112, whatever the ticket number is for your class, which you
Okay.
find on your syllabus. And then for homework 1, you put H1 with a colon, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2.1. Okay. The header is this blue thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for every section that you do, there'll be the section number and then she has the problems. So like for 1.1, it was 1 through 25. For this homework, I think it's what, 1 through, is it 15? I have to
Mm-hmm.
look at it. But
It's
it
1
would
to
be,
25.
oh, 1 through 25. So the header for this section would be 2.1, 1 through 25 is what that would be. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever she put in and then you just show your work underneath. It doesn't matter how many pages it is, but just on the first page, she wants to see this information in the right-hand corner. And then every time you start a section, you include the header at the beginning in a different color than your work.
Okay, so like a different colored pen?
Could be a different colored pen, or you could highlight it, depending on what your scanner will allow. Sometimes the scanner.
My scanner has a color option.
That's fine. Yeah. So as long as it will, then just you can either highlight it if that's easier, or use a different colored pen, but just for the header part.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. That was all I was asking. Anyway, to question 11,
Uh-huh.
I did it, and
Oh,
the
congratulations already.
yeah, so the minimum is 12 and the maximum is 88.
Let's take a look. You're ahead of me. I gotta go in, look it up. um, let's see here. 12 and okay. 12 and all right. So that looks good. So now
Mhm.
what are you gonna get for the what are you gonna get for the boundaries for that?
Okay, what was it? So
Oh,
76,
actually, well, did we do hold on, did we do the width yet? We didn't do the width, did we?
not yet. That was what I was explaining. Okay, so 88 minus 12 equals 76. Divide that
Okay.
by 9, I get
Mhm.
8.4, but you said
Okay,
round to the nearest odd, so I'm
right.
guessing it's 9.
Very good. Perfect. So then,
So now for the class limit,
right.
okay, let me just make my
Mm-hmm.
graph.
Take your time.
Okay, because I know it's past 12 and tutoring was supposed to be over. Sorry if I took too long.
No, 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 that's fine. Don't worry. No problem.
All right. So the class limit, 27 plus, okay.
No, 12, right?
Oh yeah, 12. Sorry, I was looking at the of the question 10. 27 plus 9.
No, 12. 12
Oh,
plus 9.
12 plus 9. 12 plus 9 is 21.
Right. So remember that's the next lower limit, right? So 12,
Mhm.
and then below that 21. Add 9 to that. What do you get?
20.
Okay. 30 actually, right? 21 plus 9 is 30.
Oh,
Add 9 to that, you get what?
39.
And add 9 to that.
48.
Good. Keep going.
57.
Right. Then
66.
mm-hmm.
75,
Perfect. And
84.
84. All right, now go back and get your upper limits. So 12 to,
8,
okay, you can do that if you want.
20,
That would be 12 to 20, 21 to,
20, 29,
right,
38,
right, then,
47,
good,
56,
perfect,
65,
yes,
74,
uh-huh,
83,
uh-huh, and
84 plus 9 or 8.
plus 9 because you're going the one below it, right?
Okay.
84
Uh,
plus, I'm sorry, 84 plus 8, since you're looking at
oh,
that same row. If you're looking on the row, it's one less. If you're looking
nine,
below it, it's the width.
92.
Yes. Uh-huh. How about the boundaries now?
Okay. 12 minus
Point 5.
0.5.
Right. Uh-huh.
Class boundaries. Okay, so 11.5,
Uh-huh. True.
20.5,
Very good. Then,
20.5,
okay. To what?
29.5,
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
29.5 to 38.5,
Perfect. Keep going.
38.5 to 47.5,
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
47.5 to 56.5,
Mm-hmm.
57, oh no,
56.
56.5,
Uh-huh.
6.5 to
Mm.
65.5,
Okay.
65.5 to 74.5,
Uh-huh. Then 74.5 to
83.5,
beautiful. And
'em 83.5 to 92.5.
92.5. Let me give you the frequency so you can check your answer. Okay. So the first class has 7.
Okay,
Next is 7. Next is
7,
3. After that, 3 again. Then 4. Then 3. Then 0. Then 2. Then 1. For a total of 30. Okay.
mm-hmm,
7, 7, 3, 3, 4, 3, 0, 2, and 1.
I got 30.
Okay. Now we need to do one other thing. What is it?
The cumulative frequency.
Cumulative frequency. And I think you can handle that by yourself.
Mm-hmm,
7 goes in the first one. Then what?
uh-huh. 7 plus 7
Which is
equals 14.
Uh-huh.
14 plus 3 equals 17.
Good. Then,
17 plus 3 equals 20.
mm-hmm.
20 plus 4 equals 24. 24 plus 3 equals 27. 27 plus 0 is 27.
Still, right?
27 plus 2 equals 29.
Right.
And 29 plus 1 equals 30.
And that's how it's done. Very nice. Good job.
Yep.
That wasn't so bad, huh?
No, it wasn't.
Just a lot of, it's a lot of
Counting.
time consuming. And yeah, the calculator should be helping you with that. I'll try to make a video on